Swami Abhedananda, the great preacher of yoga, yoga psychology, comprised the lecture on the Yoga Sutras of Rishi Patanjali in a systemic and scientific manner with copious references and glossaries of Vyasa, Vachaspati Mishra. They were delivered Swami Abhedananda before a talented audience in America in 1920. The book Yoga Psychology discloses the secret of bringing under control the disturbing modifications of mind, and thus helps one of the concentrate and meditate upon the transcendental Atman, which is the fountainhead of knowledge, intelligence and bliss. Swami Abhedananda, another book, Yoga, its theory and practice. The book contains 9 illuminating lectures on yoga. Yoga, its theory and practice. Swami Abhedananda delivered in different times between 1901 to 1915 in America. 3 books of Swami Abhedananda on yoga dealing with psychology, science and philosophy were published under the title of Yoga Psychology, How to be a Yogi and True Psychology. This book, True Psychology, the yoga, its theory and practice. Swami Abhedananda dealt with subject of yoga theory and practice in a very systemic way, showing their scientific methods and importance in the practical life of men. Swami Abhedananda is the opinion that until and unless science, philosophy, psychology or any other subject of knowledge are applied in our practical life, they are useless. So yoga should be studied, learned and practiced with some purpose in human life and society. This book, Yoga, its theory and practice, is a sure guided to that end. Another book, Yoga, its theory and practice, and next Swami Abhedananda's book, True Psychology. Swami Abhedananda says this subject, True Psychology, recognize the existence of body and the soul, mind and soul, but the modern sociological, psychology, physiological admits the existence of body only and nothing else. True psychology tells us that we call the physical body of the dwelling house of the soul. It is manufactured by the soul, which is the source of intelligence and self-consciousness. Again, Swami Abhedananda further states that we should know and realize that the true nature of the soul is, and then we should also ascertain our relationship with the absolute, the physique is the pure ego in in, in duality, which is not a thought, not a function of the mind, not a function of our intellect, not a sensation, not a percept or a concept, but which is the unifying elements of all and which makes each one of them related to us. So, the soul of psychic is not the mind, not a state of the mind, or not a faculty of the brain, but is the pure consciousness itself. Sarva Prakasha Chaitanya. This is called this lecture on true psychology. Lastly, Swami Abhedananda's books, How to be a Yogi. This book forwarded the laws and principles as well as methods of yoga practice based on the teachings of Patanjali. Swami Abhedananda was a practical yogi and he got teaching the inspiration of yoga from the beloved master Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa. The Swami has therefore dealt with the subject on yoga from his personal experience and has disclosed the methods and truth with the most scientific and relationship with the most scientific and rational explanation. His writing on Was Christ a Yogi is a very interesting and historical one. Lastly, Swami Abhedananda was a great saint. Not only he was the yogi Abhedananda.